My name is Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
And we are so happy that you are here with us.
And we are the Yahoo and the Torah channel. And we can't get our act together, but we're really trying. Yeah, all right. We try on that, folks, but it doesn't look like we're going to make it. But anyway, what we will make is we will make this list, and we are on the next list. And I'll tell you, just from hearing the boys going through this list, prepping this list is a mess. Guys, tell me about this messy list.
Priests eat cereal at the holy gates. I don't know if they're ever having holy spoons, but one of the commands was instead of them eating their unleavened bread, eating like the showbread that David ate, their law was supposed to be for them to only eat it. This guy had, they're only eating cereal at the holy gates. I don't know why we're eating cereal.
Yeah, so I'm convinced there's definitely not 613 laws, but definitely not in this list. There's tons of stuff. Let's go through them. Let's kick it into gear. Let's see what we got. And thank you, everybody, for spending some time out there with us. There's a lot of families out there that listen. A lot of little homies, a lot of friends. You guys are all family out there to us, and we appreciate your time. Number 371, gentlemen, not to slaughter sacrifices outside the courtyard of the temple. Leviticus 17, 3 and 4.
Any man from the house of Israel who slaughters a bull or a lamb or a goat in the camp, or who slaughters outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of appointment, to bring an offering to Yahuwah before the Mishkan of Yahuwah, blood guilt is reckoned on that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people.
Now, it doesn't say...
It says both. It says outside and inside the gate.
Does it say outside?
Yeah.
Not to slaughter. Does it say not to slaughter?
It says any man who slaughters, because you're supposed to bring it to the tent of appointment, so if some man just goes and slaughters outside or inside the gates, he would be committing sin. Because not
Right. Well, he's talking about slaughtering a sacrifice. I don't think you're talking about slaughtering like food.
Yeah, right. No, not food, but if he does his own sacrifice, like you're supposed to bring it to the priest.
Right. So don't make sure it's not outside the courtyard. Make sure the priest is dealing with all that. If we have Levitical priesthood, which we don't. 372. You may eat the clean animals, but do not eat the blood. Deuteronomy 12, 23.
Only be firm. Do not eat the blood, for the blood is the life. Do not eat the life with the meat.
Yes. We've gone over this before, and the rules of blood. If you got an animal or something of the sort and you have blood on the ground, you're supposed to do what with it, Eli?
You're supposed to cover it up with dirt.
Yeah, we're not supposed to. The life is in the blood. Very important. Okay, 373. To offer 2 lambs every day. Wow, who has that money to offer 2 lambs every day?
Numbers 20.
No, I guess so. Numbers 28:3. I guess if you're a shepherd.
And you shall say unto them, This is the offering made by fire which ye shall offer unto Yahuwah, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burnt offering.
So I think the priests would have to slaughter 2 a day, and I think that would be what they get. They'd save them until...
Yeah, I don't think it's 2 per people per day.
That'd be
They
ridiculous.
must have like a giant pasture or something.
They have like a giant, like, a corral for them or something where you're like, I've sinned, I take my ox too.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead sheep. Okay, so 374. If someone has stolen, they must give it back, and a fifth more of it. Leviticus 6:5.
All right, starting verse 4. Then it shall be when he sins and shall be guilty that he shall return what he took by robbery, or that he has extorted, or the deposit which was deposited with him, or lost item which he found, or all that about which he swore falsely. He shall repay its total value, add 1/5 more of it, and give it to whom it belongs, 1 day of his guilt offering.
There you go. So if you've stolen something from somebody and you want to give it back to them, you're supposed to add 1/5 to it, which is the law. Okay.
So if you steal $100, you got to give him 120.
Yep. So 375 says reap, eat.
Oh,
Wow.
sorry guys. Autocorrect didn't kick in, obviously.
What is reap, eat?
It's a repeat.
Okay, it's Leviticus
Yeah.
6:5. So it's the exact same command, so they must have put it in a different fashion.
Yeah, it was like
Add 20% more to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, 376. Burn the fat on the altar, Leviticus 6:3.
All right. It's Leviticus 6:3?
5, sorry. No, yeah, 6:3.
Okay, all right. It says, well, I don't think it's 6:3.
I'm sure it is. My boys went over this.
Yeah, I know. I remember reading this. 5:3? Mm-hmm. Okay, which one is this slaughter? This is burn the fat on the altar.
Yeah, which one's burn the fat on the altar?
Was it 16?
Oh,
It's
is it?
6:15.
Yeah, okay, this is one. Okay, now which one is this? I think.
All right, we're just working it as we're...
Technical difficulties, folks.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
Which one was this?
Prep.
Oh,
word,
16. Go
snafu.
16.5.
You sure it's... Oh, it's 16.5?
Yeah.
Why did you tell me that?
Because
Wow.
we fixed it. You fixed it.
No.
Yeah,
I,
you're
You're like,
fixed, bro.
Then you decided to joke and say you didn't save it. And you might not actually
no,
have saved
it's
it.
not that.
16:3.
16.3. Oh, okay.
Oh, we're totally getting smoked, folks. 16:3.
No.
Let me guess. Okay, we'll get back to this. Let's go to 377 while you guys are looking for this one. Somebody look for the fat on the altar one, Jade. Okay, to burn incense every day. Exodus 37.
And Aaron shall burn on it sweet incense morning by morning, as he tends the lamps. He shall burn incense on it.
Yep, more commands for the priest. 378. They shall clean the assembly every morning. Exodus 27:21.
All right. It says, in the tent of appointment outside the veil, which is before the witness, Aaron and his sons are to tend it from evening until morning before Yahuwah, a law forever to their generation from the children of Israel.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, folks. Okay, does it say they should clean the
It said
assembly?
they shall tend it. In the other
Tend it.
version, it said that they shall order it.
Okay, Eli, you just put that at this.
What?
That
No, I
is
fixed it.
378, son.
It's they now on mine.
Yours says
updated.
updated.
Oh, okay, mine hasn't updated. Great
Because it was
Scott.
just the.
Yeah, okay, so they need to clean it every single day.
It's 6 o'clock on it.
Okay, you found it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to this one because my boys, go on.
And the fire on the altar is kept burning on it. It is not put out. And the Kohen shall burn wood on it every morning, and arrange the burnt offering on it, and shall burn on it the fat of the peace offering.
So that's
So it
Leviticus
was, so it
6:3.
was 6:13.
6:12.
6:12.
Because 6:13.
His fire is continuing to burn. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6:13 is 376, right?
Yep.
Okay, Eli's
6:12,
fixing it.
6:12.
So
6:12.
that's also 6:13.
Yeah, okay, there was something here where we got confused because 6:3 and like 6:13 were backwards. The guy had labeled them wrong.
I understand that, but
We
Technical difficulties.
we worked this prior to this.
See,
so
guys,
this
we
doesn't
finished
happen.
this, and Jaden decided to say, "Oh, it did not save." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "No, I'm just kidding," and it really might not have saved.
Wow. Yes, curse ourselves. Okay, so where are we at here? Okay, so that's burn the fat on the altar. So we're at 378,
6:13.
6:13. To keep the fire burning on the altar,
Yes.
6:13.
Fire is continually kept burning on the altar. It is not put out.
24/7.
So they have to keep like going all night. So I have to wake up and go start the fire.
Dude, they're probably 24-hour service, man. The priests are there's a lot of
Yeah, I
priests.
see
Someone's
the
got night
midnight.
shift. Someone's got day shift.
Yeah, 380 to bring 2 additional lambs as burnt offerings on the Shabbat. Numbers 28:9.
And on the Shabbat, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2/10 steel of flour for a meat offering, mingled with oil, and the drink offering thereof.
Yeah, and I don't know how often that was for. What is this for? What kind of offering is this?
Just on Shabbat.
But
Shabbat offering. Okay, you'll see there's an offering for every like festival or every holy.
yeah, I know. But if you had to go and take 2 lambs on every Shabbat, I don't think the average person is going to be able to afford this.
No, the priest would go probably get 2 of their
It's
lambs.
like the priests.
Okay.
They just they bring because it's Shabbat, so they kill 2 lambs on Shabbat.
Like the herds that they keep that everyone
Okay.
gives for sacrifices.
There you go. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. I'm like, man, thinking my wallet's getting hurt here. Okay, 381. To make and present the showbread. Exodus 25:30.
Says, "And you shall put the showbread on the table before me continually."
Okay, so there you go. 382. To bring additional offerings of the new moon. Of the new moon. This is who done this? Numbers 28:11.
That's actually how it already was. I didn't just like it's right.
And in the beginnings of your months ye shall offer a burnt offering unto Yahuwah, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without spot.
Okay, so every
Not per person. I'm guessing it's like the stash the priests keep.
yeah, I don't know how that actually works. And so it's to bring additional offerings of the new moon on the new moon. It's not of the new
Hey,
moon.
this dude got a pass. Man, this is college people.
Yeah, welcome to school, folks. That's with a K. Okay, 383. To bring additional offerings on Passover. Numbers 28:19.
In the first day shall be... Alright, so it starts back in 14. And the 14th day of the first month is the Pesach of Yahuwah. And the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. And the first day shall be a holy assembly. You shall do no manner of servile work therein. But you shall offer a sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering unto Yahuwah. 2 young bullocks and 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish.
Passover bloodbath. Yep. Okay, so that's the laws of Passover. 384. To bring a tithe of the first fruits. Leviticus 23:10.
It said, "Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, when you come into the land which I give you, you shall reap its harvest. Then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the Kohen."
Yep, and remember, don't be cheap. Don't-
Yeah, this one said to like count the days and sacrifice according to the Kalandrava or whatever. Yeah, it was super weird.
Okay, 385. To count the 7 weeks from the new wheat offering to Pentecost, Shavuot. Leviticus 23:15.
And from the morrow after Shabbat, from that day you brought the sheaf of the wave offering. You shall count yourselves 7 complete Shavuot.
Okay, so anyone know on this one? What are you talking about here?
Shavuot. It's like I believe that's first fruits.
You count 7 weeks from the first. So 7 weeks
This is 49, and you add
Yeah,
one.
right.
So it's 50 weeks.
Right, 50 weeks. So everything's in these cycles of sevens and things of that nature, sevens and 50s. Okay, so 386, to bring an additional offering on Shavuot, Pentecost, numbers 28, 26.
So it's actually 27 that talks about that, but it's starting 26. Also, in the day of the first fruits, when ye bring the new meat offering unto Yahuwah, after your weeks be out, ye shall have a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work. But ye shall offer the burnt offering for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year.
Yep, and again, it says a sweet savor for Yahuwah. I mean, I think it says exactly what it is
He
there.
likes the smell of cooking meat.
Yeah, cooking meat, prepared right. He don't put any frankincense there. He don't like the frankincense.
That was on like the poor people's birds, I think.
Was it? Mm-hmm. I don't think he's supposed to be in an
He's
office.
supposed to like burn frankincense on the altar because frankincense like
Yeah,
burning
we'll read-
smells
but
good.
not
We'll
in the
read-
sacrifice.
we'll
But
read-
I don't
was
think
it?
in the sacrifice. I think it makes a weird meat smell. Because I mean,
Yeah, I don't
since
think
it
you
has
put
a
frank-
special smell to it. I think that mixing that with meat would. Just
I don't
be
think
really
you'd ever
bad.
put frankincense on meat. I do not think that would be good.
No.
We'll talk about read about frankincense a little bit.
Okay, we're at 386. Nope, 387.
Yeah, okay.
To offer 2 loaves, which must accompany the above sacrifices. Leviticus 23, 17, and 18.
Bring from your dwellings for a wave offering 2 of bread. For 2/10 parts of fine flour they are baked with leaven, first fruits to Yahuwah. And besides the bread you shall bring 7 lambs, a year old, perfect ones, and 1 young bull, 2 rams, they are burnt offering to Yahuwah, with their grain offering, and their drink offering, an offering made by fire.
Okay,
So I guess you gotta bring 2 loaves of bread.
yeah. So
He wants the
cooking-
bread.
Yeah, and in today's society, most people don't. They go out if they want to buy bread, they just go out and buy it.
Yeah,
Buy
they
Dave's
don't.
Killer Bread.
Dave's Killer Bread or whatever.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, no, we're not a sponsor. But yeah, that's the thing, and we're actually really blessed here because your mother, Nicole,
Our
is
mother.
yes, your mother.
Our mother. Sorry, guys.
Nicole is a wonderful cook, and everything is homemade. So she makes all the homemade bread. Eli, you make some bread, don't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't rise as well.
It's not as good as Mama's.
Nope.
It's hard to beat Mama's stuff.
I get complaints about it being hard.
Okay, 388 to bring additional offerings on Yom Teruah. What is Yom Teruah?
At the day of blasting,
Right.
which would be a day you blow shofar.
Is it a feast of trumpets?
No, it's not a feast day.
It's a day of blessing.
A lot
Not,
of people-
as it's not as in Hebrew, it's not called a hag. A hag is a feast,
Yes.
and it's just a day.
Okay.
And this is also they use it for the Jewish New Year, which is not our New Year. The biblical New Year would be time over Passover, but they use this as called Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah,
for their
that's-
pa-
and
for
they're
their
completely off.
New
The
Year.
Jews are completely off on
It's
the time. That's for
completely
sure.
wrong.
Okay, and so where's that? Read that.
It starts in verse 1. In the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, ye shall have a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work. It is Yom Teruah unto you. And ye shall have a burnt offering for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year without blemish.
So what kind of Shabbat is this one talking about?
Yom Teruah is the day of blasting.
What isn't this the first? Isn't this a high Shabbat?
Yeah, you have a holy assembly, which is like a high Shabbat.
So it's not a Sabbath, but it is a high Sabbath.
Right.
It's a little
Which
bit
means
different.
you can cook, but you can't work.
Right. Okay. So 389 to bring additional offerings on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Numbers 29:8. That's one of our favorite days of all year.
Oh yes.
And ye shall have on the 10th day of this month a holy assembly, and ye shall afflict your souls. You shall not do any work therein, but ye shall offer a burnt offering unto Yahuwah for a sweet savor, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish.
Oh, I love self-hurt.
Yes,
the Day of Atonement.
Self-punishment.
Self-infliction of the pain. All right, 390. To bring additional offerings on Sukkot, the Feast of Booths. Numbers 29, 12, and 13.
And on the 15th day of the 7th month ye shall have a holy assembly. Ye shall do no servile work, and ye shall keep a feast unto Yahuwah 7 days. And ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah, 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year. They shall be without blemish.
Yes, and so we're supposed to keep the Sukkot. We're supposed to keep the Feast of Tabernacles,
Right.
and we're supposed to stay in a temporary dwelling for 7 days. Okay, 391. Not to work on the 8th day of Sukkot, which is a high Shabbat. Numbers 29:35.
On the 8th day ye shall have a solemn assembly. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Right. So anyone have anything? Did you have something, Joe?
No, this was it was a crazy one. I can't remember what it was, but it was super crazy. I'm like, that is not it.
Okay, yeah, these guys didn't prove it. 392, to not to eat any abominable thing. Deuteronomy 14:3.
Do not eat whatever's abominable.
What
That's
is it?
literally it. Abominable is clean. And then the next verse he says, these are living creatures which you do eat. Ox, sheep, and goat, deer and gazelle, and roebuck, the wild goat, and mountain goat, and antelope, and mountain sheep, and every beast that has a split hoof divided in two, chewing the cud, among these beasts you do eat.
Yep, and we've gone over this before. It's to nauseum almost, right? And so do we eat pig? Do we eat swine, folks?
Well, it says down here, the pig is unclean to you because it has a split hoof but does not chew the cud. You do not eat their flesh or touch their dead carcasses.
Listen. Let me tell you something real quick here.
No. Is this a broken record thing?
No, this isn't a broken record thing, but I did a sermon today on this entire thing, and it's about Brother Shaul, when they say that don't let people don't let them judge you and on the days you worship or any of that stuff or any of that jive. Is Paul talking about abominable food, anything like this?
I mean, first of all, we got to understand he wasn't talking directly to us. He was talking to somebody he had just converted, some new converts,
Right.
people of the Torah. And so they weren't following the pagan ways anymore, and they were being judged for what they were now following. They were following the Torah.
This particular passage, this one was for Yah made every creature is for us, and nothing is. It's all for consumption is basically.
Well, we
what
got to
he said.
understand what was for us, and he tells us that all food for us is right here.
Where's the food for us?
Right, it tells us right here.
Where's our list of food?
Right here. Deuteronomy 14:4.
And where else?
The
Where's the main one?
Leviticus 23?
Once. Oh no, that's what's 11.
Once.
Once, yeah, I got it. Leviticus once. Sorry, working on my Spanish. Yeah, so Leviticus 11 is our dietary guidelines. That is where we know what to eat and what we don't eat. And do we do this so that our Creator puts us in chains so that we just can't eat that sweet, savory swine?
No, there's obviously a reason he has it, because pigs are a trash can, shrimps are the trash can of the sea. Every animal does some.
Vultures are the trash cans of the air.
Yeah, there's different things he doesn't
But
want
it's
us to
not
eat.
what goes into man that defiles him, boys.
So I can eat you.
Yes, you cannot. Let's not go there. It's everything but, right? And that's in that lesson I said today.
Does it say that?
Yeah, if all creatures are made clean, then cooking up Grandpa in the stew pot is
Cannibalism.
technically.
Some of you looking tasty tonight.
Yes, I mean, some are looking tasty. Well, if it's not murder, Grandpa died, then that's a little extra meat.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Don't eat abominable things, guys. That's roadkill.
And when he says not about entering your bodies makes you unclean, is what comes out of your heart, he wasn't talking about food at all. It was the Pharisees, how they had evil hearts.
and how they washed dishes and how
Yeah,
that was
'cause
vain.
they said they was going to get all unclean because of what they weren't
Yeah.
Like
washing
he
the
said, they
outside.
washed the outside of the dish, but not the inside of the
And the
dish.
Pharisees
right?
and Sadducees were not law keepers. These guys were crazy guys. That they had they're washing their hands. They literally had you fill it up and you hold it with the left hand, then you move to the right hand, and you do some stuff with it. I mean, it's like
Sounds like a ritual or something.
Yeah, it's like some
Pagan ritual.
CERN ritual or something. I don't know what's really
Pagan
going on.
ritual or something.
But that's how they do that. And for Shabbat, there's 1,200 commands they keep for Shabbat, and that's just crazy because all we know on Shabbat is don't cook, don't clean, don't make other people work.
Don't light fires and
Don't light
rest.
fire and rest. Yeah, that's it. And so other
I
than
mean,
that,
apparently we ought to give an extra sacrifice or something, but that was
not our
back,
job.
that was back in the days.
in Levitical priest, and we have.
That wasn't our job, it was not Levites.
Yeah, and that's why we would have a priesthood, because we would just be the peasants and we'd bring up our oxen or probably for us pigeons. We were so freaking broke.
I bet they had a big line of people every day. Like they had I wonder how somebody had
They
accepted.
had like greeters.
Probably
and
an all day thing.
They had like a receiver. I'm sure they had like receivers set up. They had like
It's
people
like
that
a Walmart guy.
people that like
Come
push
back.
them through. Yeah, push them through. The people that get them to the corrals, and people that like sacrifice, and people that bring them in. I'm sure there was like a whole like it took like 20
Hello, what are you here for? And the guys have a whole bag of like pigeons. I'm here for my sins.
Well, apparently I've committed some sins, so here you go. Here's a bag of pigeons.
Yeah, so it is a big thing, and it's very important, and so we must give thanks that our Levitical priest came. Our Melchizedek priest. Who is our Melchizedek priest?
Yeshua.
And how does this do anything for us?
We don't have to sacrifice to bring animals because he died for our sins as a perfect offering for us.
Oh yeah, he fulfilled the Torah. He made it no more.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, fulfill actually meant back in the day to do, as well as in Spanish is the word for like doing is cumplir. When he says I came to cumplir, and cumplir means to do. It does not mean to borrar, which is erase, or tirar, which is throw away.
Right. Okay, let's go on. 393, not to eat sacrifices on the third day. Leviticus 7:18.
18. It says 17. All right. It says, however, if any flesh of his peace offering is eaten at all on the third day, it is not accepted. It is not reckoned to him who brings it. It is unclean to him, and the being who eats it of it bears wickedness.
Okay, so what's going on? We're on day 3.
I think they had cooked the meat, and like the third day it must have gone bad. They're like, don't eat it, but somebody like ate it, and they're like...
So they didn't have fridges back in the day, so we're talking...
That's sitting on the altar for like 3 days straight. The fire's still going. I mean, it's got to be crispy, right, if the fire's still going. But if they have this like to the side or something, it's going to be like rotten. You can't keep meat out for 3 days.
Well, I don't know. How do they do it without flies? That's the thing, is it would have been... Or they probably had something over the top of it. But, so basically, here's the thing, is up to day 3, like 2 days and almost to a sunset, you can eat the food.
Yeah, and like...
Third day, it's abominable.
You're kicked out.
Well, why is this law here? What is this about?
It's probably like YHWH, right?
No, why?
I have to be the third day.
No, what is this? What's happening? What's going on? No, what's going on in the third day? What happens? Not rigor. I'm talking like food goes bad, right? We have problems with food after like a certain amount of time. Food gets funky, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking that this is a safety procedure for us. That
maybe
like
day 2.5.
I mean, this is
it's like the health ministers be like, don't eat food that was left out for 3 days. It's not going to be good.
I mean, it's only talking about the sacrifice.
Yeah, those health ministers that are 850 pounds telling us we need to.
So this is only the third day.
Well, this was the professional health. This is the real professional health. There, she's like, don't eat that food that's out for 3 days. You're not going to drink the milk that you left out of the fridge.
Right, and so I think this is one of these laws again that is a safety law. Do this so you don't get hurt. Right, and so people are like, oh, this is bondage. Go ahead, fine, eat your meat. Five months later, eat the raw piece of chunk of meat. There you go.
I bet it's real gross by then.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. I think it's just a safety thing. 394. To eat the Thanksgiving sacrifice on the day it was sacrificed. Leviticus 22:30.
On the same day it shall be eaten up. You shall leave none of it until the morrow. I am Yahuwah.
Okay, so to eat the Thanksgiving sacrifice, so eat it the same day. I guess don't leave it. The other one was what? Burnt offerings. So I don't know what the difference between having it on the third day and this. We would really need some priests to talk about this because I have no idea.
We sit down with Aaron, what was this about?
You want to talk with Aaron's kids?
They obviously didn't know the laws.
They're a little sauced up.
They obviously didn't know themselves.
Yeah, so not a good deal. Okay, so 395, not to eat leftover sacrifices. Leviticus 19:8.
19:8 says, so if it is eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable. It is not accepted. And he who eats it bears his wickedness because he has profaned the Kodesh offering of Yahuwah, and that being shall be cut off from his people.
So there we get it again. Don't eat food. There must be...
I mean, if they repeat, there's obviously a reason not to eat the sacrifice on the third day.
Yeah, and it says...
Maggots or something, I don't know.
Whatever it is the decomposition that probably could hurt the human body. So our Creator says, don't do it.
Pretty gross.
Okay.
It's like a parent like telling you not to run out in the street. When you see cars going, don't run in the street. You want to wait till the cars are gone. That's all it was. It wasn't like him saying, don't go across the street at all. You're banned from going across the street. He said, don't go across the street when there's cars on the road.
You know, and that is exactly what it is like. I think it is parenting. And that's, I have a buddy of mine who really helps us out with 153news.net, and he's just like, he does not want to be in bondage. He's like, it can't be this black and white. It can't be like this. There has to be other than the way that our Creator says. And I asked him, I said, how does that work for you with your kids? I'm like, if you ask your kid to do something, and is it always black and white? I mean, with us, it is. I ask you guys to do something, you should do it. There's no sitting around screwing around with something. You do it when we tell you to do it. So it's the same thing. Our Creator has given us these things, and it's as a loving parent that he has even done this. Okay, let's continue on. 396, not to eat from sacrifices that have become impure. Leviticus 7:19.
And the flesh that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burned with fire. And as for the flesh, all that be clean shall not eat thereof.
Okay, so if you it drops into somewhere into a something unclean, whatever touches it is. So if you have a piece of clean meat, it touches something unclean, that piece of meat is unclean. So that's the bottom line. Let's see, where are we at? 397.
Yep.
An unclean person cannot eat from sacrifices. Leviticus 7:20.
But the being who eats the flesh of the peace offering that belongs to Yahuwah, while he is unclean, that being shall be cut off from his people.
So that's bad news.
If you're a Levite that's unclean, you can't go and...
He wants you to clean yourself. You have to wait another day to do that.
Right, and I think this is also the same way that is any person that is unclean. If you're still in this sin or you have issues that you're not supposed to eat from the sacrifices, I think we're supposed to have been made we're supposed to be done with our sin to the point we need to, if you're unclean, you have some issues going on. Okay, next, let's roll to 398. Sacrificial remains must be burned on the third day. Again, this third day thing. Leviticus 7:17, who has it?
But the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day shall be burnt with fire.
Okay, so obviously we're going to get totally sick or something from this. Okay, so 399. Impure sacrifices must be burnt. Leviticus 7:19.
And the flesh that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burned with fire. And as for the flesh, all that be clean shall eat thereof.
That's the same one we did up here. So it's another one of these dueling.
I don't. He just like
They
copy paste and added so many words.
The last one.
The last one, 400. Aaron must bring in the sacrifice. Leviticus 16:3.
With this, Aaron should come into the Kodesh place with the blood of the young bull, the ram, and the bull of the sin offering, and the ram as a burnt offering. He should put on the Kodesh linen, long shirt. It goes over that. And it talks about how he should... Actually, let's go one verse up right here. It says, and Yahuwah spoke to Moses, speak to Aaron, your brother, not to come in at all times the Kodesh place lid, lest he die, because I appear with the cloud. With this, Aaron should come into the Kodesh place with blood of a young bull as a sin offering and a ram as a burnt offering. So he's only allowed to come in if he has an offering.
Yeah, you have to have a purpose, right? And that's what we learned yesterday. And some of these other ones is don't come in there empty-handed. Don't come in there just to
this is a place
gawk
where
around.
Yahuwah only wants sacrifice. He don't want nobody just looking around. He wants them to be doing something for him.
Yeah, which is very interesting. All of this whole it's very, very interesting how our Creator wants us to act and behave while we are there.
Like he's got a group of children. He's got the Levites who are his designated workers, and he wants his workers as a boss. You don't want your workers just sitting there doing nothing all day. You want them to actually be working. They go in and do something. They need a reason to do it.
Yeah, and these guys are very busy. Then they were very busy even on Shabbats.
Yeah,
so the priests,
they didn't really get a rest day.
No, they didn't, and it is what it is. So I'm sure they got in some good rest, but it wasn't on Shabbat. All right, guys, what else do we have? Anything else?
Read your Bibles, and if you are liking this, please follow along and read with us.
Yeah, and absolutely. If you're not subbed to this channel, please sub to this channel. We are doing this every single day. We're going to finish up this. We'll only have a couple more of these. And then please don't get too impatient with us. Those I know there's like 70 to 100 of you guys that are following along with this stuff, and super, super glad. It's 70 to 100 is definitely a win in the name of Yahuwah. That there's at least a few people out there who are walking this path and who are interested in the law, statutes, and commands of our Creator. So we try to keep it interesting, and we want to go over this. And once we're done with this list, we're actually going to make our own list. We're going to start from the very beginning, and we're reading Genesis, and we're reading Genesis 1, and every single day, just like we're doing this, we're going to read a chapter, and we're going to make our own list of what we find are the commandments and try to get it a little bit more dialed in because, unfortunately, the Jews have failed us on this list. And so we will clean this up and make it better. All right, everybody, much love to everybody out there. Shalom, and we are out.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Almost.